Hi, and thanks for taking a look at this preview of the ProBuilder plugin for Unity. Just going to make this a pretty quick one, showing off some of the new features that have come in since the last one, which was pretty rough and just very much a very early preview. So we'll jump right into it. Now we'll have a activate button on the ProBuilder here, which allows it to just do some extra things on start. So just activate that, and we can quickly and simply create a new box. And a couple things, it no longer has the fairly annoying giant sort of, I guess, the icon drawn in the center, which turned out to be a problem. I can simply click on any face at all, and it selects it. And then we can edit the geometry. So if we click Edit, we get some nice little handles now, just simple icon handles. I can click on any face and select all the handles for that face. There's also a nice little I guess you say just readout of the exact vertex position for the main active one there. And very simply, I can simply move these around like such, building within the editor. Of course, it doesn't have to be a box; it can be anything at all. Even something like that, though, of course, you're creating fairly impossible geometry. So sometimes best not to do that. But just as simple as that, you can build anything you like. If we go into the texture edit mode, things get even better. We can very quickly paint textures onto this and edit them. We have a couple options here under the quick paint. Let me just clear all that I have and restart this. So if you have any materials at all that you'd like to drop on this, you can simply select any of them. I think it's off my screen right now, but I'm selecting a group of materials and just click the Add button. And now in this list we have all of these materials, and I can either select faces and click Apply, or I can simply, let's say I want a red on the others, right click, and it'll drop it right on. So you just choose the one you want and drop it on with a right click. Super simple. Then on top of these textures, we can edit them nicely here. If we, let's see, move this up a bit, you can turn on and off tiling. That looks a little strange if you start stretching it. So if you have that just like this, it will simply stretch it to fill or turn it off, and it's going to go back to tiling. If we're using the tiling mode or not, either way this will work. You can change the offset, move it around, or the scale, and the rotation of it. And all this is being done just by moving the UVs, not the material. The material is not being modified at all, so you're not changing or adding any draw calls by doing this. So nice way to change up the materials and make them look different per each face. Super handy. So there's that. You can also quickly reset the texture if it gets a little crazy. Pretty simple. One thing with this, if you use the built-in collider or no draw materials, let's see, like that, or the collider, it'll actually hide this once we use the little optimization button up here. That way, if you have anything that's for sure never going to be seen by anyone, you can just add on that no draw, or the collider if it's going to be a collider only and doesn't need to be seen at all. You can drop that on, and if we hit done on texturing, and if I enable the optimization, those planes are hidden. So works out well, and I can disable that so they come back to being shown again. Okay, so if we take a look at just building something quickly here, I'll delete this. Let's look at maybe just creating a small scene and doing some light mapping to it. So I'll just create a quick base. And this is just how nice and easy it is now to create even fairly complex objects once you get used to adding the boxes together. Can make a copy of that. Go back into geometry mode and keep editing. Not really sure what I'm building, just something to sort of show how this will work. Make another copy here. Okay, I have a couple objects. I can select all of these, go into the texture edit mode, and start applying just about anything as I like. Maybe some of this. Yeah, that's probably good enough for now. Maybe one more. And then since all of these are set up for light mapping, real nice and easy, nothing you have to do on that, I can just go to the light mapping window. I should probably add a light first, it's going to help. And we'll just turn on the shadows on that and then go back to the light mapping. And make this a little nicer. And that should work fine for now. And I'll just pause this and resume it once the light map is finished. Okay, so there we have it. Light map, nice and easily. Everything comes together real nice. Simple as that. And of course I can still go back in and edit any of these textures. And it'll work just fine with the light map. Even do anything, maybe turn this off the tiling mode, move it around a bit, anything and all like that. So no problem to do any of those things. So that's about it for the new features. Oh, one last thing actually. Any box that you select, you can enable or disable Collider on it if you like. And pretty soon I'll even have the options that it will automatically generate a rigid body if you want it to, and set up an exact mass and weight depending on its density and the size. So just a neat way for you to have these even be part of a